Welcome back, and now we move on to the SERAS CSR Awards Africa. It has the vision to become the biggest, the most respected and revered awards platform in Nigeria and Africa, promoting corporate social responsibility and sustainability adoption and practice by all organizations, and by so doing, adding depth, direction, and focal intensity to the abilities of all stakeholders to purposefully contribute to the actualization of the Sustainable Development Goals, while at the same time promoting justice, equity, and responsible behavior by all. Now, that sounds like a whole lot of grammar. But it's going to be explained to us in very clear terms in just a moment, because we have in the studio with us the founder, the SERAS CSR Awards Africa, Mr. Ken Egbas. Good morning.
Good morning. Thank you for having me.
And we have a member of the Board of Trustees, Greg Amahwe. Good morning, and thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
First of all, Mr. Founder, what does SERAS stand for?
SERAS actually is the acronym for Sustainability Enterprise and Responsibility Awards. And the whole idea was to create a platform that helps companies, organizations, NGOs, governments in Africa to promote the values of being responsible and sustainable development, in the sense that we all can look at economic development without destroying the environment or the ability of future generations to also draw from that same environment. We work under the understanding, contrary to what we see most of the time, by the way, that we don't inherit the earth from our parents. We hold it in trust for our grandchildren and their children's children.
That's deep. That's deep. How did this all begin, Greg?
Okay, this started sometime in 2006.
This is the number what?
10.
This is the 10th
This is
one.
the 10th.
Ooh, so we have an anniversary edition.
Yes, we have an anniversary edition.
Okay.
He's been a member of the Board of Trustees for the last 2 years, so perhaps I'm the...
Okay,
so tell us
the story. Okay.
So we started in 2007 here in Lagos, and when we began, the idea was promote organizations, what they do in terms of interventions in society, in communities where they do business. I recall at the time that in 2006, 2007, when this idea came to light, only 3 organizations in Nigeria had CSR policies, but if you look down the road now, we have close to 85 to 90% compliance by 100 leading companies that are quoted on the stock exchange. And this is something we've done now to the 10th edition, and for the first time in the 10th edition it opened to the other participants from other parts of Africa as well.
Okay, so other parts of Africa?
Yes.
Oh, is anybody coming from other parts of Africa this year?
Yeah, we have participation this year by at least 10 countries, Botswana, Uganda, Kenya, South Africa, and a host of others as well. And for us, that's a measure of how far we have taken this idea. We've had, for over the last 10 years, we've had such huge impact in Nigeria, and we've been able to activate across the country the processes where organizations, I want to use the word adopt communities, and communities fall in love with organizations, and we have a synergy that helps everybody to stay relevant, and for the organizations to do business, and for the communities to also live well, because then in those places. So for us, the next 10 years, we're looking at taking what has been a model that has proved to be very successful in Nigeria, and also export it to these other African societies where this same need of bringing organizations closer to communities are badly needed.
And so how well has SERAS been able to bring organizations closer to the community?
Okay, so one of the basic principles behind all of this is that you reward organizations by giving them an award. for a job well done. And as a matter of fact, what has happened over the years is that a number of organizations looked at this and said, oh, maybe we should just try it out and see how much leverage we can get from this. And then the moment they got into it and they realized that how beneficial this is to them in terms of showcasing what they do in the corporate social responsibility world, a lot more organizations started getting into it. The other thing that this also helped us to do was that we needed this platform to encourage organizations, because this is not a compliance thing per se. It's something that they need to do willy-nilly.
Of their own volition, yes.
And doing this and then going to other companies, new companies, example, and say, your competitor is already on this platform. What are you doing to get on this platform? Encourages them to do something that would help the society, and then that's how we've grown the numbers over the years.
Okay.
Yeah.
What are the categories of awards?
The categories in consonance, if I might say, with the aspirations of the Sustainable Development Goals, which are 17 in number, like end of zero hunger, eradication of poverty, good health and well-being, environment, climate change, and all the way down. And we have other categories besides the 17 that were also introduced as a consequence of our own peculiar economy. For example, the best company in support of the SMEs. Okay, we have another category like the best of NGOs.
Are you referring to banks there? Support for SMEs?
Not necessarily banks, but banks really are key.
I mean, who else would support an SME?
As a matter of fact, I think in that category we received 10 entries and 7 of them were banks. So I think your hunch was right.
But the reality is that manufacturing companies do support SMEs through their supply chain. So
how do you mean?
So if an